I've always wanted to make this video and talk about this subject, and Gothic gave me a lot of inspiration to write about it. After Gothic Remake and Kingdom Come Deliverance last year, it's one of the few games in years where I actually remember specific locations, character, and routes. Not because a GPS told me where to go, but because I had to pay attention and find them myself. I'm starting to enjoy this kind of games more. Modern RPGs have a massive trust issue. They don't trust you to look at a cliff and realize you can climb it without bright yellow spray paint. They don't trust you to read a single line of dialogue without dropping a giant glowing objective marker on top of your target. And worst of all, they don't trust you to pay attention. Is it because short-form content ruined our attention spans, so developers assume nobody can focus anymore? Or is it a playtesting problem, where focus groups get lost for 2 seconds and developers panic? Somewhere along the line, mainstream game design decided that mental effort was a flaw, but in trying to eliminate friction, developers gave us choices without meaning, killing the exact thing that makes an RPG special, the feeling that you actually earned your journey through your own awareness, choices, and mistakes. And this is what I got from Gothic and KCD. The biggest casualty of modern RPG design is world simulation. Most games today aren't living worlds, they are interactive checklists. You aren't navigating an environment, you're staring at a minimap in the corner of your screen, following a dotted line like a delivery driver on a shift. Look, I get it. People work full-time jobs, come home tired, and just want an easy experience. But look at Elden Ring. It sold tens of millions of copies without a single yellow ledge, minimap, or objective marker, and players didn't just accept it, they loved it. KCD 2 sold 6 million copies worldwide. On the flip side, look at Avowed. While Obsidian never claimed it was the deepest RPG ever made, gamers had high expectations because of Fallout New Vegas. What we got felt like a disappointment to many because the world building lacked that deep, uncompromising agency. Compare that to the world like the Gothic Remake. When you get thrown into the Valley of Mines, nobody hands you a magic compass. If an NPC tells you to find someone in the old camp, you actually have to go there, ask around, pay attention, and use your own eyes. Even the map isn't handed to you. You have to physically find or buy one, and it certainly isn't cheap. Many modern RPGs claim to have living worlds, but behind the scenes they rely on rigid safety net scripting. You can still find quest givers standing in the exact same spot at 3 a.m. because developers focus on making quest work properly instead of making the game realistic. In a living world, people have schedules. If you show up at midnight, they should be asleep. And if you break into their home, they shouldn't just deliver ambient dialogue. They should react. Having spent 120 hours in titles like The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, and still working my way through Baldur's Gate 3, I appreciate the scale of modern RPGs. I understand that CD Projekt Red focuses on tightly crafted branching narratives over total open world sandbox agency, so they don't break their main story. But when a world removes physical consequences, it starts to feel less like a living place and more like a theme park, where animatronics can react when you break the rules. Gothic and KCD treat you differently. Baldur's Gate 3 has scripted moments, but like Gothic, actions carry real weight, and you even have the freedom to kill key figures if you push things too far. Look, not every game needs to be a brutal survival simulator, but when every AAA RPG defaults to pathfinding trails, auto-updating journals that solve riddles for you, and zero-consequence exploration, victory starts to feel completely hollow. In KCD and Gothic, I was careful from start to finish because a single mistake could derail a quest naturally. And because of an arbitrary mission failed screen, but because actions had realistic consequences. Some developers say you can just turn off the HUD in the options, but toggles don't fix bad core design. If the quest text doesn't tell you where an NPC lives, turning off the marker leaves you stranded, because the game was built for GPS pathfinding, not organic directions. However, good design can bridge this gap. Take an indie game like Variant's Call Forsaken Realm. On lower difficulties, it offers safety features for casual play, but you can turn off assistance completely and still works because the world was designed from the ground up to support both playstyles. I spent over 91 hours in Gothic, placing my own notes, getting killed, listening to dialogue, and making mistakes. And I loved every minute of it, just like Kingdom Come. I am both worried and hopeful about the future of RPGs. Seeing developers like The Witcher 4's director praise Kingdom Come Deliverance shows that the industry leaders are paying attention to system-heavy simulation-driven design. Look, accessibility is great, and I like it, but developers shouldn't abandon. The core fans support these games no matter what. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. I've only played a couple of CRPGs in my life, but I bought it purely based on word of mouth, because people recognized how special and uncompromising it was. I know a lot of people have talked about this topic, and I am not claiming to invent a new one. But it's crucial we keep talking about it, constructively and respectively. Otherwise, these design issues might just get ignored and get worse. It's time for developers to stop treating players like tourists on a guided tour and start treating us like an actual adventurers again. Let us get lost, let us make mistakes, and let us figure out, because that's the only way exploring actually means something.